Board of the Town of Southampton now come to order. Welcome to the June 20th, 2023 meeting. Ms. Doyle, the ARB attorney, would you please read the legal regulations for our hybrid meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good morning. In accordance with the Town Board's adoption of Local Law Number 14 of 2022, the Board's meetings are being held both in person here at Town Hall and by video conference through Zoom webinar. The link to participate in this meeting by Zoom can be found on the town's website at the Town Clerk's Agendas and Meetings portal. You can also watch the live stream video and submit written comments through the town website. For anyone attending via Zoom, if you wish to speak during the meeting, please click the raise hand icon so our moderator can grant you access. If you're here in person, when your application is called, you can come up to the table. And as a reminder, please state your name and hamlet of residence for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Mr. Rump, the Vice Chair, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Certainly. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rump.
Very welcome, Mr. Chairman.
And if you wouldn't mind, would you please call the roll since our Board Secretary, Mr. Jankowski, was absent?
All right. Chair Charrier?
Yeah, here.
Ms. Keys?
Here.
Ms. Tagliavia?
Here.
And myself. So we do have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rump. Did the board members that were present review the minutes of the June 6th, 2023 meeting?
Yes.
Were there any errors or omissions?
I see none.
I saw
Okay.
that.
Thank you. If there were none, do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to, seconded.
Either way.
Yeah. Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of June 6, 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Then, thank you. Any old business to come before the board before we start with the published agenda? If none, then we'll start with the agenda. And the first is a sign application, McDonald's at 30 Flanders Road, Riverside, New York. Is the applicant available to present? If not, we have,
They might be on, I think they're coming in through Zoom.
yeah. Yeah, Charles, are they coming into Zoom?
That's right. 1 second.
Yeah.
Brown? Can you hear me okay?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
How is everybody today?
fine.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Could you go through your presentation for the sign application?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, just for the record, Keith P. Brown, from the law firm of Brown, Alton, Leo, LLP, located 538 Cardinal Road, Suite 301 West, Melville, New York, 11747. Thank you for the opportunity to make this presentation before you today. I'm here with respect to McDonald's application to update the McDonald's mansard roof sign on the restaurant. The property has been used as a McDonald's restaurant since circa 1971. The subject property fronts along Flanders Road, is in a commercial area just east of the traffic circle. We note that the existing restaurant already includes a McDonald's roof sign. Photographs of the existing roof sign were submitted to the board for comparison's sake. As you can see from the photographs provided, the existing roof sign is a white, what we call a word mark sign, which does not feature wood finish, has exposed brackets, and features no lighting to illuminate the sign. The existing sign does not match the previously approved pylon sign, which is wood in nature, with a burgundy panel, white trim, and McDonald's lettering, and features. Can you shut the door? Thanks, yeah. Excuse me, white trim and McDonald's lettering, and features the golden arches. The proposed roof sign has been updated to address the concerns of the existing roof sign and more accurately aligns with the aesthetic of the previously approved pylon sign. The proposed roof sign is a simple burgundy cedar panel with white trim and easy-to-read white-black lettering. There will be no additional wording on the sign beyond McDonald's word mark shop. The size makes the sign visible for motorists traveling at speeds of 40 miles per hour on Flanders Road. The proposed roof sign also incorporates 4 gooseneck lights spaced out 4 feet apart above the sign, which will allow motorists along Flanders Road to identify the location better at night. A custom mesh protector painted to match the finishing of the roof will be placed on the bottom of the sign to conceal the brackets from view. We worked with the town to create a sign which complies with the town sign code design guidelines and conforms with the surrounding area. With me today is Mr. Matthew Taylor, PE of Bowler, our project engineer. Matt's here to walk you through a proposed roof sign and is available to answer any questions that the board may have regarding the design. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Right, thank you. Is there a possibility for you to enlarge the drawings and the rendering? I mean, the existing and then the proposed sign?
I think if you could share the screen with Matthew Tyler, he could do that for you.
One second, I'm letting him.
Okay.
Good morning. So, just for the record, my name is Matthew Tyler with Bowler Engineering, New York, located at 275 Broad Hollow Road in Melville, New York. And we just want to see the existing sign enlarged as well as the proposed sign.
Correct.
I hope everyone can see that.
Yes.
And I'll just have to bring up a separate screen to show the existing sign as well. And like Mr. Brown was saying before, if there's any questions in regards to like the wind loads or anything, or how the sign is actually mounted to the wall, I'm more than happy to answer.
I think when you see the comparison of the existing to the proposed, you see that this is a marked improvement over the existing signage. Would you agree, Matt?
Correct. And like Mr. Brown was saying before, this sign matches what's currently out there for the ground sign, which I can also bring up. Which is the brown background with the white accent along the edge, which we've matched with this proposed sign.
And if you have the existing condition, I think it'd be good to show that.
I don't see any issues with the sign.
Yeah,
I think,
I'm gonna,
yeah.
because we approved that monument sign.
the original one.
No, not the.
That's the existing monument sign, not monument sign, wall sign, sorry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank
You
you.
can see compared to what we're doing, the brackets are exposed, you know, it's white, it's acrylic. Compared to what we're doing, it's much nicer. And complies, not only does it comply with the sign code, but also, it fits in with the site better.
Okay, Mr. Tagliavia is the lead on this application for the area, and would you please give the board your comments and our decision on this sign?
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I don't see any issues with the sign. I think the scale, the proportions, the lighting, everything is an improvement, in my opinion, based on what you see there today. So I have no objections as submitted.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rump, comments?
I have no issues, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Ms. Keys, comments?
No issues, I think it looks much better, thank you.
Yeah, and I have no issues. I think it looks a lot better. On this, it's a sign application. Any comments from the public before we ask for a motion? No comments? Fine. Do I hear a motion to approve as submitted?
I will motion to approve as submitted.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Motion has been made and, to accept the sign as submitted. And there was a second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, have a nice day.
All right,
You as
you
well.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, next is KA Unisex Beauty Salon at 17 East Montauk Highway in Hampton Bays. And the applicant is, you wanna come up? Yeah,
How you doing?
hi,
Michael Sarabolo, Hampton Bays,
right,
owner of the building.
okay.
All right. So what we're looking to do is to get a sign for a new hair salon in Hampton Bays.
Right, which we have.
That's in there.
Where is 17 East Montauk?
In between Skidmore's and the old St. Rosalie's.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yes.
it's right near
Yeah.
St. Rosalie's.
All right, I
Yeah.
know exactly where you are.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, across from the town center, roughly.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah,
In between the two traffic lights.
right. Okay, fine, yeah, we've got the drawings and everything. Okay, since the applicant is not the lead on this project is not available, Mr. Tagliavia, would you act as the lead on this?
Sure
please?
thing. If you could just clarify in the code, I know that there's some objection to logos. I'm not sure if this will be with the combs and the scissors in the background, if that would be construed as a logo, and because all the other signs do just have a blank background, whether it's a different color.
The architect did look into that and everything was okay, as far
Okay.
as the code.
Is there anything?
No, this is not highway business.
It's village business.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Yeah, so
So-
the only thing I would suggest is removing the
That's
background.
their logos, though, as far as their shirts, their hats, everything.
It's just not allowed on the signage. And I think it does obstruct the visibility of the words in the front.
You
Just
wouldn't-
in
you
the
can't see the
images.
sign from the highway. There's a tree in front of it.
It's still the law.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
I think
it's our-
just a white background, or even if you're allowed two colors, so if they wanted a color, maybe they wanted it a gold background, but just the logos are just not not
I'll let them know. They'll be
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah.
They'll have to change all their shirts and their hats and everything
no,
else.
they don't.
It's just for
They
the
want it to
sign.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Well, they can use the window. All right, so it's not,
Yeah,
it doesn't preclude them from,
Okay,
displaying.
I'll
what
let
they
the sign
have.
company know.
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause they said they looked into it and they said it was all okay and I'm not a
Well,
sign company.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the sign company.
All right.
Other than
we have
that, the size, the scale, the other contents of the sign are acceptable, just the background.
Okay.
You have no
Okay.
problem.
No, everything
Okay,
else, just
thank
the
you.
background.
Is it gonna, just
Yeah.
a question, is it gonna, it's not gonna be lit?
No,
No?
the soffit,
All right.
under the soffit. There's lights there.
Okay, Mr. Rump, comments?
I agree with Michael and the board in terms of just, it seems like a little busy for me.
Yeah. Okay. Ms. Keys, comments?
Yeah, I mean, that would make the difference, and I agreed with Michael. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and I agree with the lead for the area, and, it's, what it is, the ARB, we have our own policies, and village, highway business, we're a little more lenient with the logos, but in village business, we try to stick with everything, you know, make it, the signs as,
Plain Jane as possible.
plain as possible to just show, I'm gonna use your term, a sense of place.
Sense of place, yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
what
that's it.
Tim said is if you put a sign in the window, you can always use whatever you want there.
Yeah.
You've got
You
25%.
got 25% of the window, so,
Yeah.
all right,
That sounds fine.
great.
As far as what do I do next though? 'Cause I have
Okay,
this a long time.
will you agree with the
I'm gonna
fin-
let the folks know it's not my sign.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but if there's gonna be a problem, then you come back to us. We can vote on it as what, without the logos on the back, and then it's approved.
Okay.
If they want to not agree to that, then they're gonna have to come back.
Part of
Okay.
what I'm
that's fine.
saying
You
is just
confused me. Am I
submitting,
coming back without the
yeah,
logos?
just come back without what we talked about, and then the person can sign off on the sign and it's
Right.
approved.
Okay,
All right.
Cause
So
we're
either way,
not gonna
I'm
make
coming
you come to the board again.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we don't want you to have to come back to us.
that's what I've got, okay.
Right.
Right, okay, I didn't,
No,
I
that's
guess I
fine.
wasn't clear, all right. So what will happen is the motion be made
Mhm.
and seconded where it'll be Mr. Tagliavia. You bring it back to him
Okay,
and he can just do the
By email?
final sign
Yeah,
off
so just email the
on
the
it,
town.
so, all right, do I hear a motion to approve this sign?
I'll make a motion to approve with the elimination of the background logos
And they resubmit and
and
come to you?
resubmit, and we'll
so
sign off, see off
basically the
and come
gold
back.
out, whatever that's in the
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever's
Yeah.
in the gold.
Okay.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? None.
Just resubmit it to the building
Yeah, I
department.
can email.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Mhm.
all right.
great.
And
Folks,
he,
have a good
he
day.
can
Thank
come
you.
to
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
All
Thank you.
right. Okay, next we have a site plan review, Atlantic Golf Club. And I believe we have applicants here. Or applicant, sorry.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
And would you introduce yourself?
Yes. Yeah. Tony Panza with Rogers Mechanic Architects, architect for Atlantic Golf Club.
Right.
I don't know if they're gonna put some images up there, but I have some.
I think Kelly
Yeah, I think because they were sent to us.
Yeah,
But,
okay. In case anyone wants a paper one, I can also
Yeah.
hand it across.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
you got that. We're gonna share this one.
Mhm.
Or you wanna share it with him? Okay. However you wanna do it.
So the project before you is, there's an existing barn at the location. And if you go back to the site plan, if you don't mind. Yep, so the square on the right-hand side in lighter gray is the existing barn.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna add
Excuse me.
an addition to it. That addition goes to the west and it goes into the hillside. And what we're doing is we're renovating it, but we're gonna take it down and rebuild it. So to me, the most important images are if you go to the,
Here,
if you click
go
through,
from the start.
there should be a before and after. Yep, click on that one, nope, sorry. The second PDF that you had open.
Okay.
Yep,
Not that one.
oh, it's just the site plan there. Try the next PDF,
No, not
and it
that
doesn't
one.
have it there.
Is it this one?
Yep, there, so, that view there is the existing barn as viewed from Scuttle Hole Road. And then if we click to the next image, we did a photo montage of the new barn, no, the same barn, but with an addition in that location. The existing siding is a vertical board and batten cedar.
Mhm.
We're applying the same finish. The existing roof is a cedar shingle, and we want to do the same thing on the roof. The photo montages That's not day one. Cedar's gonna take a little bit of time to gray out.
Right.
But, so the intent is to match all the finishes, and again, it gets a little bit wider to the left. The ridge height is 1 foot higher than the existing ridge height, and we put a dormer in there to gain some space.
Right.
Oh, Tony, how far is that from the road?
It
I
is
can't read that.
8, no, not 8. So the house on the left is 345 feet, and the
Okay.
barn is 512 feet.
Yeah,
Great.
that's what I thought, it's
Great.
There's-
farther back.
Yeah, there's no landscaping except for replanting the fescue, which is there. That has come out of previous discussions with the planning board on other projects, that this is the natural way that the site is, and they actually, planning board likes seeing them, so we didn't want to block it.
All right, okay. Ms. Keys is the lead on this, and would you give us your comments and your approval?
What is the additional space you're putting in?
Golf course equipment, so the
No,
lawn
but
mowers.
how many square feet?
Oh, the footprint is on the site plan there, 1,254.
And that's going towards the street or?
It's going towards, to the west, it's going towards the hillside.
Okay.
So we're, that darker part there.
And
is
are
the
there
addition.
pieces on the roof now? Like
There is not, we're adding the dormer to gain.
Oh,
There's
oh,
this,
oh.
there is it's a 1.5 story building, there is space on the second floor right now.
Uh-huh.
It's in the very, center of the building, and so by putting the dormer in, we're able to get a little bit more space out.
Okay.
There's a second photo montage in there, which happens to be from inside the golf course, from their driveway.
And the walls are the same also? You're
Yes.
using wood?
Yeah, yeah. Again, with the photo montage, it'll take 2-3 years for the
Mhm.
cedar to not be so stark, but it'll get there.
I think it looks very nice. And
Thank
thank you for keeping it in the way it was.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Rum, comments?
I have no issues, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tagliavia?
No
comments?
issues. No.
Okay, I have no issues with it. I think you've done a great job with melding it into the
Mhm.
landscape. And I just want to comment, every time you come here, you supply us with a complete presentation, which makes it a lot easier.
Thank
And it's appreciated. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
what will happen is, this is a site plan review, and a transmittal letter will be sent to the planning board regarding this, our findings. So, okay, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
I have to keep my horse there.
Yeah. Okay, the next, what we have is a substantial residential, 61 Cedar Point Lane, and we have representatives for the applicant present.
Good morning, my
Good
name
morning.
is John Bennett and Mike Shano from InterScience is here, and hopefully Steve Bankowski from Bracken and Bracken, the architects of record are on the phone, but are coming in. I don't know if they are, hopefully, but I'll start anyway.
Yes, please.
What's great about this application is, there's a bunch of things that are great about this application as far as I'm concerned. A few words about the property first. First of all, the application is not aggressive. It's a 4,849 square foot main house and an 1,879 square foot carriage house. The property, and it's all one story, which is nice to see because it's not a statement, it's low lying. It's very horizontal as opposed to vertical. But it's important for, excuse me?
I'm just asking
Okay.
Kelly to go over the site plan.
Well, what's important to note is that this is 2 merged parcels. So that's important because my client bought the property and we were trying to figure out how to develop it. And there's a parcel there's a waterfront parcel. You can't see it on the map, but there's a waterfront, or maybe you can. There's a waterfront parcel, perfect, and then there's a street front parcel. So quite candidly, rather than fight it out in the conservation board for a long time, ultimately they would have had to give us a waterfront parcel that waterfront house that would have been nowhere near the 125-foot setback, but it was a buildable parcel. We came up with the concept of merging those two parcels, but going to the zoning board of appeals and saying, hey, we have two buildable lots here. I want to put a carriage house here. And I don't want to have to transfer in a development right because I already have two development rights, number one. And number two, when we merge it, we're going to push all this stuff back to a conforming wetlands setback. So the reason I tell you that is because it's not specifically within your bailiwick, but it does let you know that this is a very sensitive application. It's not overly aggressive. It's really taking two developable lots and making it into one. And then the architecture is, it's not surprising given the location of the architects. It's reminiscent of some coastal California development, which is low-lying, one-story, more horizontal than vertical. And I just, it's a great spot. It's one of those spots that grew up here, never had been down that street, drove down the street and was like, wow. One of those places, like one of those hidden areas that, you know, just great view, looks out into the water and over to, what's that place Galassi used to, Clam Island and then
Robbins
so,
Island.
Yeah. Well, Clam Island first and then you know, Morton Wildlife. So, but it's very, very ecologically sensitive, very aesthetically sensitive, I believe. Very traditional materials, and again, we hope you'll agree that it's pleasant.
Okay.
I don't know, is Steve on, or is he? It's, what is it there?
Charles, is Steve Mankowski on? Yeah, I know.
8 o'clock.
I know he was on Zoom. He messaged me that he was waiting.
Okay.
Just real quick.
He's coming.
Thank you. This part of the property is lower in elevation than the road. And actually, after the project is done, it'll be about 6 or 7 feet lower than the road itself. And the house will be fairly well screened from the street and also from the neighboring property. So it's gonna be, and it's completely one story. So it's gonna be nestled into the landscape, even though that it takes up a lot of area, it's gonna be nestled in so it kind of fits into the property.
So I think the house, even if there were no buffering, should show very proud, very, you know, very exciting, very traditional in its own form. But even having said that, it's going to have a not a significant visual footprint from a height point of view.
Yeah, do you happen to know all the materials they're using?
Let's see, Steve will come in. If
Yep.
you have a material list,
I do, but also Steve can probably talk to it.
he's in.
Yep.
but Steve, you
Yeah.
in? Okay.
Oh, here he is.
So the exterior materials are, we've got black painted wood boards. Some of them will be charred black. Those are the vertical boards. And there's a concrete base, a 3-foot concrete base of the walls. And the roof is going to be natural cedar shingles. And yeah, that's the majority of there's one point where we've got a metal roof where we had a little slope, and we've got a skylight. But yeah, that's the majority of the materials.
There's also preserved, by reason of the wetland setback, quite a bit of the natural vegetation on the property.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Keys is the lead on this, and Ms. Keys, would you give the board and the applicant your comments?
From the drawing, thank you. I don't really see the setback from the water. Like how far
It's on the
back?
survey. It's got to be at least 125.
It's
Okay.
125 feet from the wetlands, but it is
Yeah.
more than that from the water.
Do you have a landscape plan?
It's part of the,
We had a buffer plan. We don't have an upland landscape plan because
most-
I did not submit one.
Okay, can you?
Typically that's
Yeah.
not required, but we do have a revegetation plan.
Well, when we need
Landscape.
screening, we do ask for it.
Okay,
That's
I
what I'm
didn't
getting-
think this needed any screening. I thought it was
Okay.
wonderful in itself, particularly because of the topographic elements.
Cool. But the other, and the elements, it looks very nice other than that, but I'd like to see that.
Yep.
Especially with what you're raising and lowering in terms of all of that too.
We'll definitely submit it. So all of the area that is flagged as wetlands consists of existing trees. And a lot of the property.
Can I see this?
Yeah, sure.
Steve,
Yes.
maybe in terms of moving this along, there is a substantial hedge
See?
along
Yeah,
the,
this is-
street,
And this is lower.
correct?
than the
Right.
street.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
There's a substantial hedge along the street, which makes, it's essentially impossible to view into the property. Is it the client's intention to leave that hedge?
Whatever's not being left is gonna be replaced by landscape architects, so it's gonna be, it'll remain.
I'm trying to go somewhere else.
I know, but I'd like
Yeah.
to see a landscape
All
plan.
right.
Well-
It's gonna-
For the single-family residence, but if that's what you want, we'll get a point.
Yeah.
Well,
The-
okay, one thing, if you, to move this along,
Mhm.
possibly, if he'll replace this in kind with a height, and if they're gonna take away this screening on the street,
Okay.
if they'll replace height and kind or whatever, as long as,
Done.
that's what we're looking at. See,
Done.
that will
Well,
solve.
there's neighbors, there's.
Well,
They
they can-
actually own that lot,
They own-
and so the two properties are going to be going
Effectively
together.
used together.
And the screening on the
This-
east
yeah.
side is going to be, that's gonna remain.
It's extremely dense and native.
This'll remain,
Yeah.
and anything that, well, we can
Or
do,
will be replaced with
or
equal height.
replaced in
Um,
kind with height and
Steve,
density.
Steve, I'm gonna make that representation that anything that is going to be used to replace those hedges
You okay with
in
that?
the front will be
Yeah,
replaced with
yeah,
something
no
in
issues at
height,
all.
in
Alright,
similar
alright.
height, at least as
Understand what
high,
they're doing.
and density, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
All you have
The-
to do is submit it. It won't take that long, right?
well,
Just real quick, the height of the elevation of the road is elevation 16, and the elevation of the house and the entire developable area of the property is elevation 11. And so, but yeah,
it's gonna be sunk down.
And what's the height of the ridge, that one ridge you show at some point is proposed?
And
the house is 20, that's something else. 18 feet tall, elevation,
Steve, what's
Steve?
the height of the ridge?
Let's see here. Yeah, around 18 feet, 18'2".
Okay,
Is that spot on? I don't wanna, that's a pretty specific question for Mr. Rump. I wanna be,
18'2".
that's the highest, other than the chimneys, that's the highest that's the highest part of the
Ridge.
house, correct?
Let me run.
Don't make a
through the-
liar out of me.
Yeah, let me run through the elevations quickly.
Okay, let's just make
yeah,
sure.
it looks like it is on the drawings that we have. It's above the bedroom bridge height, looks like the highest.
Okay, I'll make a suggestion too. Can you tell me how, the top of the windows, how high would that be from ground level?
The windows are 10 feet.
Okay, so we're roughly a foot below the road.
Yes.
height.
9 and 6, no. You said 16 and 9, right?
21, you're 5 feet above the road,
5 feet
Yeah,
above the road.
5
yeah,
feet
5
on-
feet above the
so
road,
it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, I think it'll be fine.
Okay,
My
well,
stuff.
anyway, all right. Ms. Keys, any further comments?
That's it.
Okay. Mr. Rump, comments?
I have no issues. I think it's a great solution.
Okay, as, without a landscape plan, or,
Yeah, I have no issues.
okay, Mr. Tagliavia?
I have no issues, given the elevation change from the street and the existing vegetation.
Okay, and I don't have any issues. I think it done a good job, and you'll mainly see the roof on this, and as long as you make that stipulation on the landscaping, I think that'll,
Yeah, don't forget your condition, we have no problem with that.
yeah,
And the
and
resolution, yeah.
that's it. And we have to vote on this, so, because it is a.
No, I was saying on the
Oh.
resolution, don't forget your condition.
Oh, no, that's it, all right. Do I hear a motion to accept?
I'll move to accept as submitted with the caveat that any vegetation that's removed will be replaced in place and in kind.
Okay, on the boundary though, because they're gonna have to remove some of those trees where they're building.
I understood it to be on the
Yeah.
street
Street and the west side?
and the
East
East
side.
side?
East side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, in kind, in terms of height and density,
Yes.
Yeah.
not species necessarily?
Yep, that's fine,
Okay.
Yeah.
thank you.
without
Okay.
species.
All right. Do I hear a second on that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Thank you,
You opposed?
No.
Okay.
thank you,
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you
Right.
very much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
John, you leaving right away?
No, I gotta go see Katie, if she'll see me in the attorney's office.
I
so-
might see you downstairs. then.
Perfect,
Okay, thank you.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Keys, thank you for flexibility on that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, guys, have a good day. Okay, we were going to discuss the adoption of the policies, but unable to because the board secretary is absent, and I'd rather have the whole board here at the time. Agree, Mr. Rum?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Fine, all right. Any further business to come before the board?
I move to adjourn.
You move to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Carrie.
Thank-